What's up, guys? It's Martha Greatest, and today I want to go over the story of Sakyo from Yu Yu Hakusho. And basically, Yu Yu Hakusho is a Japanese show that came out in around, I believe it was like night in the 1980s, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a show basically with this guy named Yusuke Urameshi and him and his friends would battle monsters and enter this dark tournament, in order to win and to save his life. But anyway, I want to go over Sakio's character, and I want to go over a bit about him. So basically, in Yu Yu Hakusho, he was a villain, and he was the owner of the dark tournament. He was the controller. So he held it, and he was the richest man on the show, basically. He was a trillionaire. I believe it was either a billionaire or a trillionaire, but he was a trillionaire, and he held the dark tournament, and all these people that were rich along with him would gamble on who would win the dark tournament, and kind of like sports betting, but just betting on like fights and stuff like that. That's what he was doing. So he was known for betting, and he was also the owner of the Dark Tournament. He was very calculating. Some people would say he was very handsome, and this is something that I could relate to. But even though he was calculating, intelligent, handsome, he was abandoned because um, people left him behind. People that were associated with him abandoned him. A lot of them left him, betrayed him at the end of the show. Like a lot of the rich guys that were gambling, they were really in competition with each other. Sakio wasn't really, he was kind of just in the game. But all the other guys, they were just trying to get over on each other. And Sakio just had, when Sakio revealed his master plan of creating a machine that would pave a way for monsters to enter and exit, then a lot of the people he was associated with turned on him and actually wanted to assassinate him. But in the end, those people ended up getting killed because of Sakio's um, bodyguard named Tagoro. And he was also one of the bad guys in the show. So just a reminder, Sakio and Tagoro were like the main antagonists of Yu Yu Hakusho. So that's the show, y'all. And yeah, like Sakio was just, he was this guy that was handsome, intelligent, but a lot of people left him behind. He was abandoned. He didn't have many friends. He didn't have people that were really fond of him or saw him for who he really was. And the only friend that he really had was his bodyguard, Tagoro. Can you imagine living a life where you got no friends? And I mean, I relate to this because I've been in a spot in my life where I had no friends. I had nobody looking after, like, I had no ride or dies. I had nobody. I was just like Sakyo. But the lesson in his biography is to keep moving forward, to strive for your goals, strive for excellence. And that is one thing that I commend Sakyo on. Even though he was evil and he did some wicked things, I commend him for following his goals and chasing his dreams and making things happen. Like this guy was about it, and I respect that. I respect that about him, and so did his bodyguard, Tagoro. Tagoro respected Sakyo, and that's why he was his bodyguard, because he respected his intelligence and his power. He respected Sakyo as a man because he was strong and resilient and he didn't let life knock him down. He was on his own path no matter how people treated him, whether they rejected him, whether they, you know, casted him aside. But I'm here to tell y'all that just like Sakyo, you can keep going in life, no matter what the world has done to you, no matter how the world has treated you. That does not define your worth. Let me say that again. No matter what the world has done to you, no matter how the world has treated you, that does not define your self-worth in life. Just because people treated you a certain way, that doesn't make who you are. And that is one thing that I commend Sakio on. He didn't let the opinions of other people define him. When he released or when he let his rich buddies know his master plan, they turned on him. They wanted to kill him. But guess what? Sakio kept going. And in the show, even though he had passed away, and it wasn't because of the people that turned on him, he ended up blowing up his dark tournament, um, the building of the dark tournament. He ended up blowing that up, and he died in that explosion that he created himself. But his master plan still went on. His legacy still lived on even after he died. And that is one thing that I respect Sakio for. Even though he passed, his legacy lived on. What his vision was lived on. And that is one thing that we need to be. We need to be visionaries like Sakio. We need to make things happen like Sakio did. This man was a go-getter. This man was a hustler despite all the odds, despite everybody abandoning him and turning on him. His rich buddies didn't want to associate with him. He was still a hustler anyway, and I respect that. And so did Tagoro, one of his bodyguards. He respected Sakyo for that. And I want you guys to know that you can do the same. Whatever goals you guys have, as long as you're not doing something evil, I'll say that. But if you guys have goals and dreams and aspirations, go for it. Don't let anything stop you in your life. Don't let anybody say you can't. Like, don't let the opinions of other people stop you from your vision. And that is one thing Sakyo did. He didn't let anybody stop his vision. You can't let people stop your vision. He kept going. They hated him because he had a master plan. They hated him because he was cunning, because he was smart, and maybe because he was handsome. But guess what? They didn't stop the master plan that he had because his master plan lived on. And all those other guys, they had nothing to show for it. They were just rich guys with just a lot of money. But Sakyo had a vision, and I respect that about him. I respect that a whole lot. He had a vision and he went for it. He didn't let anything stop him. And that just shows you how resilient he was. And you guys have to be resilient in life because a lot of people are not going to be fond of what you're doing. A lot of people aren't going to be comfortable about what you're doing in life. People aren't comfortable because you challenge the status quo. Like in my life, I could personally say that people didn't like what I like when I did videos, like what I'm doing now. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like, um, you know, they don't like a person being a visionary, and they get jealous and they want to, just like in Sakyo's case, they want to end your life. But I'm here to tell y'all, don't let anything stop you in your life. Nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you. And people are going to say and throw things, but you can't let those things stop you in life. You got to be just like Sakyo, you know, going up against the odds anyway. The whole world abandoned him, but he still kept going forward. And I can relate to this in my life because to some degree, I also didn't have many friends, but I kept going. I had a dream, I had a vision, I kept going. I didn't let anything or anyone stop me. I kept going. I'm still at the grind. I'm a hustler. No matter what, I was still at it. No matter what they said about me, I was still at it. I didn't, you got to be a person that doesn't know how to quit. When you put your mind to something, you got to be a person that doesn't know how to quit. And that is one thing Sakyo had. Sakyo was a go-getter and he was a no-quitter. He didn't quit. He kept pushing forward. He kept pushing forward. And I respect that about him. And so did Tagoro. Even though he was a bad guy, he kept pushing forward. So the lesson for today, you guys, is keep pushing forward in life. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care. Like, keep going in life. Don't give up because people said stuff about you. You know, what they say is behind you. Don't look behind. Keep looking forward like Sakyo did. Keep looking forward. And that was the video for today, you guys. This is talking about Sakyo's biography and how he was resilient in his life. And this is the video that I really want to talk about today. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and have a great day, y'all. It's Mart the Greatest. Peace.